I had hits in the 90s, I had hits in the 2000s, and I had hits in the 2010s. You use it till you can't use it anymore. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I feel like I still got so much more to do. I was using meditation and affirmations every day to get me through, and that just took me on a path of mental health, mental well-being.
Hey Yetta, you know how much love and respect I have for you? Girl,
Ditto.
Why do I feel like I'm your best friend? I just met you.
You are merging of Oprah and Barbara Walters. There you go.
Joining us at the desk today is Emmy Award-winning journalist and anchor. It's Yetta Gibson, everybody.
Welcome to this Arizona's Family Original. Tonight, a conversation with one of hip-hop's most recognizable hitmakers of all time. I'm talking about Lil Jon. From his time with the East Side Boys to collabs, solo projects, he's been a part of hits after hits. I'm talking Yeah, Get Low, Lovers and Friends, Snap Your Fingers, and Shots. We know that song, Shots. The Grammy winner continues to make music, but he's enjoying now a new chapter of life, dabbling in other areas that have nothing to do with mainstream music. All right, how you doing, John?
We rolling?
We rolling. You don't remember this, but I did work at B103 with you when you were doing the overnights.
Oh, when I did the reggae show?
Back in the day, yes,
Wow.
we worked together. And we went to school together, apparently in the same public school system.
Yeah, we were around the same hoods.
The king of crunk, Mr. Turned Down for What? Jonathan Smith, aka Lil Jon. A more than familiar face for me. We both grew up in the same neighborhood in ATL. He made a name for himself back in the 90s at one of the top hip-hop and R&B stations in the city, V103. And he's come a long way from his stint in radio.
I got real popular in high school for having like the wildest, craziest, biggest parties. I started DJing after high school. My really good friend, Emperor Cersei, he was on the radio in Atlanta, but he taught me how to DJ. And then he went away to the military. He was in the Navy. So he left, and by the time he came back, I was running the city.
Yes.
So
You're moving into the fourth decade.
yeah.
So is there a goal? Because you don't seem like you're ever stopping.
No goal. I've been producing a lot this year. Last year and this year, I was working with Too Short. We got back together. I did Too Short's album that'll be coming out soon. I just like to work.
So you don't have any plans to stop?
No, I mean, I look at the greatest musicians of all time, and they all did this until they died. You know, Michael Jackson was performing to go on, you know, he was getting ready to go on tour. He was rehearsing to go on tour. You know, Prince was still doing shows. You know, James Brown was out there till he couldn't get foot no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the greatest musicians of all time, I believe God gives you a talent, you use it till you can't use it anymore. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I feel like I still got so much more to do.
Yes.
I got so many more hits in me.
Yeah, we've seen you do more than just music.
Rapper, world famous rapper, Lil Jon has been working with Pencils of Promise for more than a decade now.
Okay!
hey, here on Family Feud.
Lil Jon.
Hey, it's Lil Jon. Get excited for the new season of Tiny House Nation!
What do you think, Lil Jon? Is she a leader?
Holy cow!
I know that you did the musical direction behind Usher's Super Bowl performance. By the way, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
How did you feel about that after it was all said and done?
I mean, as an artist, some of the goals you set for yourself or some of the peaks or plateaus you reach are Super Bowl,
Yes.
halftime.
Yeah.
Like, not many artists are on that list, so to be able to be a part of a show like that, and the way I was featured in the show, I had my own moment, and it was a really big moment, took the energy up, and to be behind the scenes, musical directing,
That was great,
it's just, you know, you just thank God.
It's time to design my workout with me.
Multi-talented, multi-dimensional, Lil Jon doesn't limit himself professionally, mentally, or physically. First of all, what are these? You went viral on TMZ a couple weeks ago because of this transformation that you've done. What sparked that? You look great.
I've been on a health journey for a while, but when I got the call that Usher wanted me to not just musical direct the show, but to perform, I was like, I want to get in shape. So I called one of my good friends that we used to party together, and then he just turned into like a crazy bodybuilder. And I was like, yo, would you train me? And he was like, yes. And I looked amazing for Super Bowl. And then I was like, you know what? I want to be on the cover of Men's Health. You know, so I was like, let's train for Men's Health. He had competed in some bodybuilding competitions, and he was like, man, you could have got in this competition and killed it. And I was like, you know what? Let's train for next year for that.
Can we all turn up together tonight?
He turned 50 a few years ago and seems to have hit restart, leaning into new beginnings.
I have a daughter now that's 9 months, and I feel like health is everything. I gotta be here for my daughter. I gotta be here for that first day of school. I gotta be here for, you know, elementary school graduation, high school graduation, walking her down the aisle. So I can only do that if I take care of myself. I was always into health because one day a friend of mine who was one of the drivers that would drive me when I would go to Los Angeles, he hit me and was like, I just had a triple bypass. And I'm like, what?
How old was
he?
He
was like 10 years younger than me. And it made me wake up and say, you know what? I need to start taking better care of myself and reversing things that might be going on in my body now, because the older I get, the harder it is to fix everything.
Of course, yes.
So probably my heaviest was 175. I'm probably about 148 right now.
Where do we want to go from here?
You gotta keep your eye to my social media and see.
Yes.
Manifest abundance.
He's been on this health and spiritual journey for the last decade. Talk about the meditation albums you have, because we did not expect that from you.
Yeah, so me and my good friend, we talk around my birthday every year. So he always calls me to say, oh, you're old, even though he's a couple months under.
Right.
We were talking about life and a bunch of things, and I started to tell him I wanted to put out like some nature stuff and some music to help people like sleep or whatever, because I was looking at my Spotify and I noticed I had all of these binaural beats, and I turned 50 and I just reflected on my life and I wasn't really happy.
Okay, so that's how that started.
I'm not your typical meditation guru. Some of the affirmations I would say to myself, I took those and wrote them down, and we put a bunch of that into the meditations, and we went in and recorded about 5 albums worth of stuff. I was using meditation and affirmations every day to get me through the tough times, and that just took me on a path of mental health, mental well-being, and you know, and also get into therapy and all of that stuff. So putting all of that out there for, like, you know, men, we suffer in silence, you know, so it's, you know, we don't have to. So I'm just letting people know it's okay to go get some help.
Right.
I put this out for everybody, to help everybody to get through whatever's going on in their
So
life.
you want people to party and then woosah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, basically.
So you talk about these affirmations. Do you have any favorite ones?
I say, I am happy, I am healthy, I am at peace. That's what I said every single day I was going through, like, really tough mental stress from the divorce.
So the divorce was the main thing.
Yeah, that was it. Just that, and just reflecting on where I was in life and realizing I wasn't happy. When you think negatively, you say negative things, you bring negativity. The universe don't know what you want. It's just whatever you put out.
You speak in my language.
So
is it very hard to ask you then, like, what you're looking forward to in the future, because you're probably living right now in this moment, and anything that comes your way is probably what you go for.
I'm just looking for continued growth. You know, every day I wake up, I just try to be a better human and push more positivity out there and just be a good person.
Are you happy now?
I'm great. I have a great partner in my life. She's the mother of my daughter. We have a wonderful daughter, and I live for her every single day. I live for both of them every day.
I love it. We love to hear it. Thank you so much.
It's all good.
You can listen to Lil Jon's meditation and affirmations album anywhere you stream your music. And you can see Lil Jon live in concert when he headlines Party in the Park. It's out in Gilbert. Tickets for the November 8th festival are still available. Coming up, Lil Jon made changes to his life after he turned 50. So is it ever too late to change? Are you ever too old? It's our In the Chat question of the week, and we've got your responses and an expert with us to talk about it.
I went from my grandmother's living room
to the Super Bowl. That spark took me to practice over 10,000 hours so that I can get to the Super Bowl with my bandmates will.I.AM, Apple, and Fergie.
From his grandma's living room to the world stage. Coming up, Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas dishes on the group's iconic impact on music and reveals his own ties to Jerome, Arizona. That's coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for In the Chat. And in this portion of the show, we're going to talk about a topic that gets everybody thinking. This week, it's all about age and change. Are you ever too old to change, and why? So here are some of your responses. You're too old to be trainable if you stop learning, moving, and experiencing new things. Rigidity sets in. Another one of you said you keep learning every day of your life. When you stop, you died. We brought in an expert to discuss this. Mental skills coach and author of The Art of Bouncing Back, Darleen Santore, also known as Coach Dar. Thank you so much for being here. You've got a great story yourself. We're going to get into that in just a bit. But at first, I want you to talk about the question of the week. Are you ever too old to change your ways, change anything, really?
No, never.
No, the answer is
You are
no.
never too old. And it really comes down to, are you open to just continuing to bring your gifts to different arenas? So often we think if we go into a new arena that we have to learn something new, but if you continue to bring your skill set, so your communication, your ability to maybe administrative tasks, your organizational skills, if you bring it to different arenas, you could reinvent the arena, but you still bring your skill set.
You bring your skills and kind of translate them into new places. So would you say a lot of people are having a hard time doing this, or do they just need a little guidance to figure out how to do exactly what you said?
I think people believe the stereotype is once I get to a certain age that it stops. It was one, you could still learn your new skills within a skill set that's natural to you. You could enhance it. And are you just open enough to learn it and then take the risk and have courage?
You know, the story we just had before with Lil Jon, he's an R&B star. He talks about turning 50. He talks about going through a divorce, and that kind of catapulted him into doing new things, including his health journey and having a meditation album of all things. So would you say that the only, or one of the only ways to kick off change is to have something like that happen, or can you just do it with no, real shakeup in your life?
I would say you don't have to have a shakeup in order to do it. Sometimes you just need to be so inspired by his story to say, I could do that too. And then have the courage to get up and go do it.
Yes. Would you say that's part of your story too? Because yours is unique. Tell folks what you do. We said what your title is, but what exactly do you do?
So I'm an occupational therapist who specializes in neuro, which is the human brain. So helping people in their human potential. Did that for years in the hospital, helping traumatic brain injury patients. Went through my own stroke.
Yes. Talk about this. You had a stroke, and then were you already working in that space, and you had a stroke yourself?
I mean, I really didn't know I needed to know my patients that well.
Wow.
But it happens, and it was one of those things where I started to experience what they were going through.
Right, firsthand.
And it became a catalyst for me to say, you know what? If I could die any day, let me go do something that's going to impact the world. So that was one of those, I had a moment.
Yeah, shake-ups,
But I do want to add, it's helped me throughout my life, what I just shared with you, because I've gone from healthcare, running healthcare companies, to a record label, to sports arenas, to coaching, to the White House. I've been all over, but guess what I kept bringing? My skill set is helping people elevate to greatness and finding their edges to stay sharp. So no, it doesn't matter the arena. I'm helping the human.
Right. I mean, music business, White House, and then athletes, you say?
Yes.
So what would you say about your experience having done all of these things and just kind of recarving your skills to fit in all of those boxes? How would you explain that to people and, get them to know that they can do this too?
I just don't want you to live with regret, saying, I wish I had. I want you to live saying, I'm so glad I did. And that if you just have the courage to take the chance, your life will change.
I love it. How do we get in touch with you if people want to have you help them do this?
You could follow at CoachDar.com or at TheCoachDar on Instagram. I'd love to help.
You are great. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's what's coming up.
Before it was all about me. And then when I shed ego, and I became more aware about a higher purpose, I made it about we. How can we inspire other people?
Ooh, I love this. This is Taboo. You recognize him from the Black-Eyed Peas. He's going to talk evolution, love, music, and he's going to share his thoughts on the group's impact, his ties to Arizona, and what he's learned from so many years in the game. That's coming up. Oh. Welcome back. In tonight's Not Done Yetta, a member from one of music's most iconic groups, we're talking about the Black-Eyed Peas, Taboo, is 1/4 of the group behind hits like I Got a Feeling, Pump It, and Where Is the Love? You don't want me to sing that because that's Fergie's part. The group has made a cultural and a musical impact. He recently made a stop here in Arizona, and Simone, you caught up with him. He's got ties and roots to Arizona.
The story was so heartwarming. I did not know his background and his connection to our state, and finding out about it, it's really going to tug at your heartstrings, and it's going to make you love him even more. So check this out.
The Grammys, the comic books, and big-time performances. You can forget about it all. Taboo's main mission is all about love.
In this crazy world of chaos, we need love. And Black-Eyed Peas is the best way to describe the love.
It's fitting for a man who is part of the iconic song, Where Is the Love? It was the Black-Eyed Peas' first major hit, so powerful and widely received, Taboo still talks about its impact now, some 20 years later.
They always say the voice of the voiceless, right? I feel like we took on that when we made Where's the Love? Because at that time, people that were calling out, the situation in 9/11 were getting banned, like the Dixie Chicks. Prime example. They did the same thing we did. Will said, we got terrorists here living in the USA, the big CIA, the Bloods and the Crips, and the KKK. And they played that song. Why? Why did they do that? We got away with it. And so the world received Black-Eyed Peas on a, these guys got message.
Taboo's own journey to stardom and music started in his early childhood. Born Jamie Gomez, Taboo says it was his grandma, a Jerome, Arizona native, who encouraged him to find his own voice.
And she would sit in her chair like this and she would say, from Los Angeles, California, give it up for Jimmy Gomez. And that fire and that smile and the energy that my grandmother had on her face when I was performing in her living room inspired me to perform. I went from my grandmother's living room to the Super Bowl. And that spark took me to practice over 10,000 hours so that I can get to the Super Bowl with my bandmates will.I.AM, Apple, and Fergie. So the idea of Jerome was embedded in my heart because she loved her mining talent so much.
From dancing in his grandmother's living room to the world stage, Taboo is cemented in music history. The Black-Eyed Peas are one of the most successful groups of all time. They've sold an estimated 80 million records worldwide. Yet Taboo is a different person than he was at the height of their success, and he says a better version.
I look at some of my old interviews and I'm like, man, I was lost. Many years ago, when I first started, I was overindulging. I've been 18 years removed from the overindulging, if you know what I'm saying. Sobriety's sacred. I battled cancer in 2014. I'm a cancer survivor. So all these moments of dealing with mortality, dealing with human struggle, have taught me how to use my platform and my voice to now be a beacon of light, be a messenger of hope and inspiration. I didn't have that before. Before it was all about me, me, me. And then when I shed ego and I became more aware about a higher purpose, I made it about we. How can we inspire other people? I'm 50. I've been in the game for 30 years, man. The quality of life is so much better now because I understand it and I'm mindful about my surroundings and my words. I use words that build, not break.
So So if you're wondering, the Black Eyed Peas are still touring all throughout the world, and Taboo's bandmates will.I.AM, he's now a professor over at ASU.
I know.
He talked a little bit about that. He said he keeps in close contact with Apple, Fergie, and Will, and they're all still really tight.
What class is he going to teach, will.I.AM?
It's an AI class. It's talking about AI in the music industry, which I think is so interesting.
That is interesting. Taboo, man, he has quite a story. I don't think we knew all this about him. Good stuff. Thank you, Simone. And thank you so much for watching this Arizona's Family Original. You can connect with us on Instagram, where you're going to find, all the behind-the-scenes stuff, even sneak peeks of future shows and guests. Both of our handles are down below. We'll see you again real soon. We rolling.
Oh, I'm good, man.
Yeah. Oh, should I not? We around the same.
You went to a rival high school.
I did.
Yeah.
The best one though.
I just did a record with Lizzo. I did some stuff with Lil Nas X. I'm just working with whoever messes with me, I mess with them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I just like to work.
We appreciate you. Okay, guys. Thank you.